Today we're going to conclude our study of Science Chapter 7 with Lesson 4, Forecasting the Weather. We have 3 objectives today. You should be able to do the following by the end of the lesson. Describe the different types of instruments used to take weather measurements. Explain how radar and weather satellites help meteorologists forecast the weather. And explain how to interpret a weather map. So we're going to begin with weather forecasting technology. Weather balloons, it's basically what it says it is. They carry electronic equipment that can measure weather conditions as high as 30 kilometers above Earth's surface. You're going to come back and click here to watch a short video on weather balloons and what all happens with that science. It's pretty cool. Measuring air temperature and pressure. We know that we use a thermometer to measure the air temperature, and this may be a new term for you. This is a barometer, and it measures air pressure. So one thing to note here, if the air pressure is dropping and there's already a storm there, it means the storm is growing, it's getting bigger. So that's another one of those you kind of have to flip a switch in your brain, because you want to say if it's getting higher, then surely it's getting worse. But no, if the air pressure is dropping, the storm's growing bigger. So to measure wind direction, we use a wind vane. You'll see these at airports a lot because they need to know which direction the wind is blowing. Or sometimes a wind sock, and it's called a wind sock because it looks like a sock. Measuring wind speed, we use an anemometer. So a barometer measures air pressure. An anemometer measures wind speed. And then radar, of course, is used to find location, movement, and the amount of precipitation. And then weather satellites that orbit Earth provide images of weather systems. So with all of this, we have gotten so much better at forecasting the weather. So this is a station model. The National Weather Service produces weather maps based on the information gathered from about 1,000 weather stations across the United States. It's always going to show the temperature, normally in Fahrenheit, because that's what we use here in the United States. It'll tell you the type of precipitation, the dew point, and the higher the dew point, the more saturated and like water vapor the air is, the wind speed and wind direction, the amount of cloud cover, and this is the abbreviated version of barometric pressure, and it will be in millibars. So remember, as the lower this number gets, the stronger the storm system is getting. This is a weather map, and if you've ever watched the news and the weather, you've probably seen something like this. Weather maps that you see on TV include all these lines that you see, and these are called isobars. Isobars are lines that identify areas of equal, high, or low air pressure. So you can see on this map, the white would be the isobars. These that you see with blue and the triangles, those would be cold fronts that would be moving in. A warm front would be the red with the circles. The L represents a low pressure. The H represents high pressure, like a high 5 day. If you see these lines after the low, that means there's a low pressure trough that's moving. The green normally represents rain. The yellow on this map represents fog. So you can see, if you look here in East Tennessee, we've got this low pressure trough that's about to move through, and We don't have any rain here in East Tennessee, but it's all around us. So the closer these isobars are together, the windier it is in that location. So if you see a weather map and the lines are just really, really, really close together, then it's really windy where that is for that day. All right, this is the end of chapter 7.